Hi you guys, this is Allison hanging out in my space to craft, and I'm ready to start on my next series of layouts. I have already done one layout, and that was the pre-done Easter page kit. So I've already put that together, but you'll have to wait until I do the project share at the end of the month. And I'll include that. I didn't do a process video on it because it wasn't my design in any way, and it was a pre-done page kit, and most of it was already together. So I just, matted my photos and put it together. So the first page that I want to do from this page kit is my daughter's first trip to the dentist when she was 3, I guess just over 3. And she had been going with me prior to this. I had her go at least the 1 or 2 times prior to that and just sit in the room to see what happened with me. And then she got to sit in the chair, and they, played around before they actually did a cleaning. And so, and then we went in for her first cleaning, and she did great, and has never had a problem going to the dentist. We love our hygienist. She has kids the same age, and so we've just grown together pretty much. So I have this cute paper from a Doodle Bug Get Well Soon kit, and I love all the different florals and the hearts, and both sides of the papers are super cute to the point that I don't know what I like better in a lot of them. So I want to have a little bit of a play, and I know that sad I'm not going to be able to use this, but I know that I want to include the teeth. So what I think I want to do is I'm going to cut this into a triangle and put one here and one here, and then probably pick some other papers to go here and here, and then maybe make some sort of diamond using triangles in the middle so that I can just make a patchwork of all of the papers. So I think that's my plan. Let's start with this one, and then I can mix and match for some of them that I want to see the back side as well. This one, not so much. I mean, I love the back of this. Makes me wish I had 12 by 12s of some of these so I could use more of them, but they're super cute. All right, so, and I have some white cardstock. So that's gonna go there, and this is gonna go there. And then I don't know if we want to pick the same ones for here and here, or we can. All right, so I've sped everything up, the rest of the video, to 3.5 times speed until the end, of course. So I do a lot of playing around and trying to figure out, once I have these corners done, what do I want to do in the middle. And I didn't want to panel the whole page. That seemed like a little bit of overkill and a little almost too patchworky. So I try all these other things to try and mix and match components in different areas, and everything was feeling a little too discombobulated. So you'll see where I end up, but I'm trying to figure out where the photos need to go. And I end up doing the in-process teeth cleaning on the left, and then the final product on the right. So I look at this and doing one each of that, and it just didn't look cohesive. So I try a couple of different things, and it just looks a mess to me, basically. So I have a solution, and I will come up with it in just a minute. So you can see I'm just trying anything I can to, and then, but where do you put the pictures? And then it just looks kind of strange. So instead of that, I'm going to simplify it, and then I'm going to use some of these papers to mat the photos. So here we go. All right, so I'm back, and I just took, so I'm going to make it the same on each corner, diagonal corners, and then put one 6x6 in the middle. And it creates these giant chevrons on each page, but that just looks to me a lot more cohesive. It's a little more, even though it's still 3 different pattern papers, it's still a little more cohesive. And then I used all those other pattern papers to mat the photos. So in order to get the small photos, I didn't want to cut into new pieces of paper, and so I just cut a square out from underneath a couple of those photos to get those 2 mats for the teeth x-rays. And then I'll play around with this quite a bit, and it does not end up like this. It ends up to the side. So I haven't trimmed. Once I trim that photo, it'll make more sense where I'm going with that. And I want this, I love this strip of teeth on here. I also like the You Got This, and I was going to use it, and I ended up not using that from the paper. I ended up doing something else with it. So I'm going to go ahead and commit to this. And I did do a wider, this is sort of, you know, the big focal image. So I did a little bit wider mat on this photo with her pretty teeth. Trim these photos up a bit. And so I feel like those x-ray photos are just sort of floating out there. The ones on the left, it's a grouping, you know, I can bring them in close together. I'm thinking about, at that point, maybe doing some stenciling. I end up not doing it because I think the pattern paper has it busy enough. So I'm just going to finish this up. So those are not, you know, yes, they're in the middle of the page, but they're a grouping, and they make sense. So I'm going to end up using that strip and a couple of the other strips as a little shelf. And then I went off and I found some Felicity Jane small letters, and then the smile letters are from Vicki Boutin from a puffy sticker sheet. So I used some of the scraps and made a couple of little striped banners, one with the teeth and then 2 others, and then some little banners for the top of the page to try and tie more of those patterns together. And I'm liking that better. And because those are going horizontally, I then put the tags coming out of the other photo horizontally. Otherwise, all the pattern would have been chunked in the center of the page. I do end up moving this around a bit. So these were just partial because they were cut from that 6x6 paper. I want those little teeth to show, and then I'm just playing with the other tags. So that's pretty much the configuration. I just do end up, I think, moving it over just a bit after I put the title down. So it's a little crowded, so we're going to scoot it over. That's why I use adhesive that is movable, repositionable. So I do the smile. Now these Felicity Jane letters, I ended up losing one of the E's because they weren't sticky at all. They're stuck on the sheet fine, but as soon as you pull them off, they're just not sticky. I'm like, well, did I leave the sticky on the sheet? And it doesn't seem that I did. They're just not very sticky. So that's a little bit of a frustration that I had to use glue on them. So I just did a simple title called Perfect Smile. And it looked cute, and I was able to pick, you know, multicolored letters since I had so many colors on this page. And I think now it's just time for some finishing touches. I have some Doodle Bug puffy stickers, or like enamel dots, enamel shapes, and a few other things that I'll put on and decorate. And I included a journal box so that I can talk about her first tooth cleaning experience. Okay, I think I'm finally happy with everything. So I did ink everything, and while it's not quite as clean a look, it does really help everything pop off the page, especially the things that have a white background. So let's just take a look at this page. This will be my journaling to tell the story of that first trip. This looks like it could use just a little bit of trimming, but that's okay. So I have the banners. These are Vicky Booten puffy stickers. These are Doodle Bug. So that's pretty cute. This side is relatively simple, and then this side has a little more of the decoration. Those banners, some more of those little Doodle Bug stars, and then the little tags hanging out from the photo. And then I have a puffy that says this day, and over here I added one that says I can do it. So using all 6x6 papers except for my cardstock, I think that came out pretty cute. So please give this video a thumbs up and come back. I do have just a couple of scraps that I'm going to turn into a card. Thanks a lot, you guys.